In this video, I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know about NBA Live 21, as well as why NBA Live 21 needs to be a good game. But before we get into it, guys, if you could smash that like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Yo, guys, what is good? It's your favorite Supreme Leader, Cameron. And it's no secret that 2K has been a monopoly for the last couple of years, being a complete monopoly in NBA 2K19 and 2K20, considering that NBA Live really just didn't have an answer for 2K at all whatsoever. And this has led to some of the biggest fraud in probably all of gaming, probably even ever, with a multi-million-dollar company, probably billion-dollar company, giving us the same parks 2 years in a row, which is pretty much Call of Duty, giving us 100% of all the same maps on multiplayer and all the same guns. It's like if they literally just kept their multiplayer mode the exact same. If Call of Duty did that, then there's plenty of other options for people to go to play first-person shooters, but unfortunately for us, there's no other options for basketball games. And instead of it hurting their bottom line, they ended up breaking revenue records by just making the game more microtransaction aggressive, and people were still willing to pay for it. And with the disappearance of the once popular series NBA Live, NBA 2K was able to get away with it pretty easy, but this doesn't have to be the case. If NBA Live or some other company put out a good basketball game, 2K would definitely have to try a lot harder. Now, unfortunately for us, this is not going to be the case on the current gen console, with NBA Live pulling out of selling their NBA Live 20 and on current gen and just focusing on NBA Live on the next generation of console. With their exact statement after pulling out of EA Play is that for some time we've been putting in reps on our console basketball games. We're excited by our progress but remain hyper ambitious, so we're not going to release NBA Live 20 this season alongside the NBA and NBPA. We have our sights set on creating something fresh for the next generation of players and platforms. We know we need to earn our future every step of the way, so we're taking time to get it right for our players. We promise to check back regularly with updates. Until then, we will be on the grind. Now, that was the last big piece of news we heard from NBA Live, obviously, when they pulled out from dropping NBA Live 20. And this shows that they've been working on their next generation game for at least a few years now. However, we do have reason to believe that NBA 2K has been doing the exact same thing, with most likely both AAA developers starting development for the games on next generation as soon as they were given the technology to be able to do so. So hopefully both games are going to be great games that are going to be very playable. But what does this mean for us as a consumer? Well, for one, for just the start, the fact that NBA Live has been announcing that they're working on their games for next generation of console for this long has to make 2K a little bit worried, and hopefully it makes NBA 2K, just tone down the microtransactions a little bit. Because we know for a fact in NBA Live 19 as well as NBA Live 18, both games had very little microtransactions, especially in the My Career style game modes called The One. And this was to encourage players to play these game modes over My Career, as it was very easy to level up your player. There was no option to pay to level up your player, and this was obviously to encourage players to play NBA Live instead of NBA 2K. And honestly, I played NBA Live 18 a fair bit and I actually enjoyed it a lot. However, the gameplay with NBA Live is obviously nowhere near as good as 2K right now, and it just made it so that 2K, they could push the aggressive microtransactions, and because their game was just that much better, NBA Live really didn't stand a chance. But now with no NBA Live option in NBA 2K20 as well as in 21, as they're only releasing it on next gen, so from September to December, 2K is also going to be a monopoly. But once next gen comes out, we will have a second basketball game to choose from. Now, the fact that 2K just is aware that NBA Live is working on a game also discourages NBA 2K of giving us the same parks, because they know if we frustrate them too much, okay, we're just looking to play a basketball game. So there's a very good chance that a lot of us might move over to NBA Live. If 2K does something to really annoy us, Pass. So they are kind of more forced this year, not this year, but next year or next gen. They're way more forced to actually listen to what their consumers want, okay? Guys, a lot of the people say 2K11 was the best 2K of all time. That was the 2K where NBA 2K took the throne from NBA Live, as NBA Live was the most popular game. 2K11, that changed, and a lot of people say 2K11 was the most enjoyable 2K of all time. And that was because to surpass NBA Live, they had to really just listen to what the community wanted, okay? The microtransactions were they're nowhere near as bad. You guys know EA is a very, very aggressive company when it comes to microtransactions. Then with FIFA, they invented making billions of dollars off microtransactions. But you can only do that when you are the top game. If you are not the top game, then you can't do that, because people are just going to move over to another device. So that's why when there is a competitor, the chances of microtransactions being a big thing are a lot less, which is overall just a better thing for the community. But NBA Live being a good game doesn't just mean the microtransactions are going to be worse. It also should push forward the gameplay as well. If the two games are competitive, then they don't have to strive a lot harder to make the best possible gameplay, as at the end of the day, the reason 2K is on top, because they're the top dog right now, is because they simply have better gameplay than NBA Live. The gameplay on NBA Live is actually pretty garbage right now, okay? It's very, very glitchy, abusable, but it's not like a smooth glitchy. It's like a really awkward, robotic, glitchy kind of thing, where you kind of get stuck in animations. You find one move that spam ankle breakers. That's kind of why I thought NBA Live 18 was fun, but it does get boring pretty quickly after a while. All the movements and everything in NBA 2K are just so much more fluent, and it just makes the game so much more enjoyable to play. Now, the only thing we really have to be worried about is the fact that NBA Live, if they don't put out a game, okay? Because you guys never know, EA, they don't really need NBA Live, although it is a nice thing to have. They're losing a lot of money on NBA Live, okay? It's nowhere, it's not the backbone of their company. In fact, it's such an insignificant part of their company right now that if they were to get rid of NBA Live, they wouldn't think twice, okay? So the only thing, if NBA Live doesn't look good, they're gonna stop the game instantly. And if we don't support NBA Live, especially on next gen, there is a 0% chance we're getting an NBA Live 22. I believe that. If NBA Live 21 flops on next gen, like it's a complete failure like Live 19 was, there's a very, very high chance that 2K becomes the only basketball game for probably ever, because I don't see any other company competing with them. The way the NBA is just trying to heighten up the price of getting licenses for the NBA. How 2K is heightening up the prices for NBA to give the licenses out to use all their kind of their branding and everything like that, which is really bad, okay? Because if they're the only game, then we're just gonna get even more aggressive microtransactions. They don't have to listen to us. They can spend less money on producing a good game. So it's actually in our best interest to buy NBA Live 21. I'll definitely be buying it. I'll give it a go. I'll check it out, make a few videos on it. But if you guys have a decent amount of money and it's not that bad to NBA Live 21 probably won't be an expensive game. I believe they're going digital only, so they won't actually be releasing a disc. You guys know, if you just got a quick $40, it's probably going to be a cheaper game. Just hand your money over to NBA Live 21. The thing with a new game is it's never boring, okay? When you buy a new game, it's always enjoyable. Obviously, I'm not affiliated with NBA Live at all whatsoever. This is not a paid ad, okay? I'm just saying, in our best interest for 2K to have a good game, they need a rivalry, okay? It's like if I was the only 2K YouTuber, I would put in no effort to my videos whatsoever, and I would get millions of views, because there's millions of people that want to watch 2K videos. And if I was the only one, there is no incentive for me to make good videos, okay? I would make garbage videos and try to put out as many as possible to make as much money. Does that make sense? So that's why we need NBA Live 21 to be as good game as possible, because at the end of the day, it's not like any company can come in here and make a basketball game, especially an NBA game, because then they don't have to buy all the licensing to all the NBA branding, and that's very, very expensive, okay? If you guys want an idea how expensive, NBA NBPA reportedly agreed to a $1.1 billion licensing agreement for NBA 2K series. The NBA and the National Basketball Players Association agreed to an extension of their licensing agreement with Take-Two Interactive Software on Tuesday for the NBA 2K basketball game franchise. Guys, $1.1 billion to use the NBA branding, okay? That's an insane amount of money, and you can't just make a startup and have $1.1 billion to give to the NBA and then use the NBA branding and all that kind of stuff. NBA Live already has the licensing for all that NBA stuff, so that's why if they fail, then chances are we're not going to see another proper NBA game for a very, very long time. And at that point, 2K can give us the same park every single year for the next 100 years, and guess what? Chances are not a thing is going to be done about it because we all just want to play a basketball game and there's nothing we can really do. So guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash that like and subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'm out. See ya.